Well, that was quick. I was actually doing a video and I was about 5 minutes in, and then all of a sudden, I was going to do a little bit of video on what's going to happen next with Deandre Ayton and the 2 days and what will transpire. And all of a sudden, boom, offer sheet matched by the Phoenix Suns. Probably, I would say that is the quickest offer sheet that I've ever seen matched. We'll kind of go into a little bit of the nitty gritty here as far as, so we heard this afternoon, Indiana offers Deandre Ayton 4 years, $133 million. Around 8:15 Eastern time, he signs the offer sheet, and around 8:40, it is eventually matched. And I think when you look at the Ayton offer sheet, 4 years, $133 million, $30.9 million in the first year. When you put an offer sheet down, okay, you got to put the bells and whistles here, right? You got to make it awfully uncomfortable if you are the Phoenix Suns. What does awfully uncomfortable mean? Trade kicker, right? 15% trade bonus, meaning that if Ayton is traded, maybe 2 years from now, he gets 15% of his guaranteed salary that can't exceed his maximum allowed here. A salary advance. Make it uncomfortable for Robert Sarver have to maybe pony up $5 or $6 million on October 1st to Deandre Ayton here. Maybe put a player option in here for the fourth year. From what I've been told, none of that is in there. It's a straight-laced 4 years, $133 million contract, and Indiana made it easy for Phoenix to go ahead and do that. I give them credit to pony up, to put a big number out there. I think it shows that they're willing to spend money. They had to go through some cap mechanics here. I mean, waiving Dwayne Washington, you can re-sign him if he clears waivers. Waiving Malik Fitz, Nick Stauskas, Juwan Morgan, and then basically having to use the waive and stretch provision. You have some dead money now sitting on your books for the next 3 years. Remember, you've saved over $40 million when it comes to the Malcolm Brogdon trade. So the cap space in Indiana all of a sudden, which is still frozen, doesn't open up until Ayton reports. He passes his physical. I mean, we could be looking at 4 to 5 days if this thing slow plays itself here. But based on Indiana spending this offseason, they are not in a rush to go out and spend that money. We're 2 days into free agency. So what does that mean for Phoenix, right? So Phoenix goes into the luxury tax for the first time since 2009-10. They have a full year to figure itself out. They've got we pulled it up here. Basically for Ayton this year, it's going to cost them $62 million in salary and luxury tax here. When you look at it, they've got a luxury tax bill right now of $32 million. So when you look at the Ayton salary and the luxury tax bill, it's going to cost you Deandre Ayton for over $60 million. But what were your options, right? You could have just let him go. Bismack Biyombo is your center. You wouldn't have cap space. You would have saved money here, but I believe Phoenix did the right thing, and they acted awfully quick. And I think what happened was they saw that offer sheet, and they said, no trade bonus, no salary advance, no player option. Sign me up, right? Right off the bat, as far as the offer sheet, and that's why you saw it quick. They didn't have to go down to Robert Sarver and say, you know what? We're going to need $6 or $7 million next week to give DeAndre Ayton. Nope. Come down, pass your physical, and now you're on the Phoenix Suns for at least until January 15th. With the matching of the offer sheet, Ayton has veto power on any trade. He cannot be traded to Indiana for a full year. He's got a January 15th trade restriction that will get lifted. If a trade materializes, they would have to go to Ayton to have him sign off on that. What does it mean about Kevin Durant? I would say any chance of Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns is basically on life support unless there is a third team involved. So one-on-one with Brooklyn and Phoenix, I never thought Ayton was getting to Brooklyn because of the hard cap restrictions that triggers in a sign and trade. Basically, he would have to go to a third team. Phoenix is basically running out of players right now. You basically have to get to $35 million. Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, Landry Shamet, Cam Johnson, Saric. Like, Brooklyn's not doing Saric, Landry, Crowder, and Cam Johnson in draft picks. That ain't happening. The Nets are not doing that type of deal. That is a C-, D+ type trade. So now, do you grow up in a third team, right? We talked about the hypothetical yesterday. I went on NBA Today and talked all about it. Does Bridges to Brooklyn, Donovan Mitchell to Brooklyn, Ben Simmons to Utah with all those draft picks, Durant to Phoenix make sense? Now, the hard part is we were using the Ayton number to get to that $35 million number that Phoenix has to basically send out. So now if you're Phoenix, you would have to send out about 15 or 16 more million dollars in salary. So now you're basically losing 3 players on your roster. So all right, that's really the only way, realistically, I would ever see Durant landing in a Suns uniform. I've been on record. I said I think he's in Brooklyn when training camp starts. But I don't see a Phoenix trade for Durant, basically what they have to offer, unless a third team is involved to incentivize more things that are coming to Brooklyn. So 6-minute video, offer sheet is matched. It was awfully quick. It saves us waiting until Saturday night to figure out what happened. Ayton is in his Suns uniform. The window for that team remains open. I'm sure there's some hard feelings from everyone that everyone will have to kiss and make up. But at the end of the day, Deandre Ayton got his $133 million. We'll see what happens next with this roster.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.